Now, since I started doing this 4K versus Blu-ray comparison show, I've been asked multiple times, do older black and white movies even benefit from 4K? I've also seen comments here and there on social media, especially when an older film is released in black and white. What's the point? It's in black and white. It's not even color. Or I've even seen comments saying 4K is meant for modern day movies, not for my grandfather's black and white movie. The truth is, 4K carries with it a multitude of improvements that go beyond just bright, vivid, and bold colors. Now, 4K has 4,000 horizontal pixels, while Blu-ray has a little over 2,000, which means that 4K resolution delivers double the level of clarity and precision that significantly surpasses lower resolutions, giving a much crisper, cleaner, a more lifelike, immersive, superior image and experience. That, yes, even improves black and white films, that you'll see in my review in a moment. And this is especially true if it's sourced from the original camera negative. Ultimately, 4K gives us a higher level of filmic appearance. And today's movie is absolutely proof of this, voted as the number 33rd greatest film of all time and revered by many as one of the greatest westerns of all time, starring two icons, Gary Cooper and Grace Kelly, in High Noon. Now, High Noon was released 71 years ago in 1952, and to celebrate this film's achievement in cinema, Kino Lorber has unleashed upon us a 4K UHD sourced from the original 35mm negative with HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading, and also 1:37:1 aspect ratio. So let's take a closer look at High Noon and see if this 4K UHD holds up against a previously released Blu-ray and if it's worthy of an upgrade. Now, with being such an iconic film, it deserves an iconic presentation. And that's what this 4K UHD delivers, with an outstanding UHD presentation that, while the previous Blu-ray was definitely no slouch, it looked fantastic. The 4K does improve upon with noticeable improvements and upticks, especially when compared to the previous release Blu-ray. The HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading adds improvements to whites and blacks within the film's grayscale. Honestly, it just truly looks remarkable. For example, Grace Kelly's dress is brilliant and crisp without blooming out, letting you appreciate all the minute details and textures and accents in her clothing. And that's just one example out of many throughout the presentation. And while the Blu-ray didn't really have any problems with black levels, here on the 4K, the blacks are enhanced, looking even deeper, truer black, giving more depth, especially more depth and impact to locations. A perfect example here is the iconic sweeping pullback shot revealing Gary Cooper standing in the street, and honestly, for lack of a better word, it's breathtaking to look at. Also, the enhanced black levels draw out more information in the image, and there is some excellent shadow delineation that keeps Crush at bay. Now, cinematographer Floyd Crosby shot High Noon without the use of any kind of filters. The reason is to preserve the intensity of the natural light, which is something, honestly, I was concerned about because sometimes a 4K transfer with a higher resolution can look overly bright or even wash out, especially with a black and white film, if not handled correctly. Well, my concern was immediately put to rest. The 4K transfer never looks overly bright or washed out and stays consistently balanced throughout the film. There is some exceptional contrast enhances here that really helps in this department, balancing out all the blistering daylight scenes. Saturation is slightly increased, giving just a little needed punch and kick into the image that really helps to maintain the finely varied grayscale that even helps with the smallest, most remote details spring to life. The white levels are also a tad crisper and brighter without diving into any kind of blooming or any kind of areas that were blown out, which I did find in some areas with the Blu-ray. Here, the 4K is very nicely balanced. Now, High Noon is known for having frequently uses of close-ups to emphasize the stress and tension of various moments. And while the Blu-ray definitely looked great in this area, the 4K with a higher 2160p resolution, giving finer lines, looks even better. The image is as sharp as it can be, and all the close-ups look absolutely stunning and a little tighter than they did on the Blu-ray. It's all there, from the glistening sweat on faces and clothes to facial stubble, even down to the worn wrinkles on Gary Cooper's face, to dried on grime and dust. Again, it's all there, much more revealing now and brilliantly rendered with this 4K. Interior locations look fantastic. We can make out the grain and imperfections in wood, and all the little objects and finer details stay sharp, whether with close-ups or wide shots. Exterior shots look even better. We can see all the dust and dirt, the makings of buildings, writing on signs, you name it, it's all there, showcasing the beautiful sweeping cinematography and production design in full. Now, the only issue I did find, and this has absolutely nothing to do with the transfer quality, there are some inherited softer shots that, because of the higher resolution, is now a little bit more noticeable. Again, these softer shots are inherited, they're baked into the negative, and it is not because of a troublesome 4K transfer. So it's just something you have to expect. And film grain has never looked better. It's fully intact here and looks even better resolved and finer than the Blu-ray. Also looking quite a bit sharper and cleaner with finer lines. The grain of the film is seamlessly woven into the film's fabric and is very nicely rendered here on this 4K, giving us fans a beautiful, natural filmic appearance. Alright, now let's dive into the audio presentation of this 4K, and High Noon carries a fantastic audio mix with a DTS HD stereo track, which I believe is the same track that was used on the previous Blu-ray. And the track sounds fantastic, giving plenty of life to dialogue and sound effects, and also the film's Oscar-winning score that sounds dynamic and open. And the mix is free from any kind of noticeable hisses, pops, or age-related wear and tear. This stereo mix is clean and precise. Alright, so my overall score for Kino Lorber's 4K UHD presentation of High Noon, I'm giving it a resounding 5 out of 5 for video and audio. The 4K quality here is just superb, with crystal clear, eye-popping 4K restoration that both completely respects the film's heritage and also preserves it for future generations. Alright, but now here's a real test. Head over to the comment section and let me know, when you look at the differences here between the Blu-ray and this new 4K UHD, which do you think look better? Or do you even see any comparison at all? Head over to the comment section and let me know. Alright guys, well thanks so much for hanging out a few minutes here with me talking about Kino Lorber's fantastic, essential 4K UHD presentation of High Noon that is highly worth the upgrade from the previous Blu-ray. And this is released May 7th, 2024. So definitely pick this one up. As always guys, keep physical media alive, and I'll see you next time.